Welcome to the Numerology and Astrology for October 11th, 2021. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 8. In my book, Integral Numerology, it describes the archetype for the number 8 as being Ananda, a disciple of Buddha when he first became enlightened. Ananda and Buddha were best friends for 45 years until he died at the age of 80. At that point, Ananda went into unconsolable grief. The other disciples were surprised, telling him that he was so blessed to be the best friend of Buddha for 45 years, but that was not why Ananda was grieving. He had tried to do his life according to the teachings, but somehow had not become enlightened. So he cried for 3 solid days. At the end of that cycle, he became enlightened. The moral of the story is that each of us carry a tremendous amount of grief and suffering from past lives. Often, we have buried it deeply within our core, and it takes catalytic events to force us to look honestly at those feelings and allow the emotion to heal by letting it flow through. Blocking emotions is the cause of much suffering. Not letting go of those that have died is the cause of grief. It is the attachment of the physical realm that hooks us into patterns of behavior that perpetuate lifetimes of looping through emotional trauma. Learning to let go is the issue of the number 8. In the positive, this is a number that helps us manifest a helpful and supportive attitude in times of distress. It allows us to put our own pain to the side and help others. In that way, we can make a difference. In the negative, this is a number that indicates those in denial of their own suffering. They are processing and attempting to let go and work through unresolved sadness and grief. It indicates that someone might be spinning or rushing around, afraid to stop, slow down, and really feel what is happening. There is a fear of collapsing into the grief and falling into worthlessness and sorrow. The lesson that all of us will experience grief at one point or another. All of us will feel the sting of great loss. All of us will try to remember to breathe deeply in those times and allow the oxygen to help clear our body of this intense emotion. All of us will learn again and again to let go of those things we cannot control in life. Bad things happen to good people, but those that have deeply loved will be with us throughout time and space again and again. And that is a thought that gives hope and solace in such times as today. The Astrology Today. The moon kicks us into a higher gear as it transits through the adventurous sign of Sagittarius. Around lunchtime, it will shift into the more focused and detail-oriented sign of Capricorn. This Capricorn moon desires more and a more practical method for going forward. Mercury is still retrograde and will quincux Uranus. Let's just say that things will quickly get more complicated. You may feel challenged to get any sort of clear communication, and many will not be kind. You may make decisions that are reactive and not well thought through. This is a day where things can get twisted up and very confusing. Others may not hear what you are trying to say, and it can lead to projections of what they thought you were saying. Watch your body language. Make sure it is not saying one thing while your words are saying another. Stay congruent with both your words and body language. Know that many hear your body posture and inner tension than the sweet words you have prepared. Okay, my quote for today. Escape is never an option. There is nowhere to run. All we are doing is running away from ourselves. And no matter where we go, there we still are. And my blog for today. As you can tell, I am dressed. I always do my blogs ahead of time, for one day ahead of time for my clients that are in Japan and Asia and Taiwan and Australia. So you can tell today I am ready to go for a bike ride, and I'm off to the coast for the day to do a bike ride along the coastal trail. I know that after the last couple of weeks, I just need to take a break from things and wander along with a bike and have a gorgeous scenic view. It's easy to break a state of mind. Just do something different. The more spectacular, the more I can let go of my personal stresses. Life will always offer up situations that are chaotic and that seem unfair. Life never promised fair anything. Life offered opportunity and experience, and some experiences need to be had at certain points so that we learn to not be so gullible. The more one awakens, the more responsibility one has, and the more we have to be aware of those things in the world that are light and dark. And make no mistake, there are those that hold a desperate darkness within that they often cannot see. But I do. As a great song by Sarah McLachlan and Rudy Perez reminds us, there's vultures and thieves at your back. There are souls that fuel the storms in life. There are souls that love to fuel the storms in their own life. There are souls that love to twist the knife. There are souls that love to build towers of lies. There are souls that want you to feel worthless and believe you do not make a difference. There are people that want you to collapse into hopelessness. There are people that make you want to run away. There are people that claim they have power by taking yours. I keep such souls away from me as much as possible. I keep such souls at a distance. I recognize that most know not that they hold toxicity and distortion. That is what makes them such a problem. Self-awareness is the moment when we recognize that a great change must come. Self-awareness is the moment when we come to understand why some people refuse to engage with us. Self-awareness is the moment when a change begins to happen. The frozen and hate-filled self begins to thaw, and the true self begins to become activated. At that moment, there is a place where I will turn my gaze back at them. But again, I will wait and watch for their protected and self-righteous heart to thaw. I learned a long time ago that everyone can use their power to reinforce a false self. I look outside and see so many projections of egos and those false selves seeking more and self-importance. Such souls are of no interest to me. It is a waste of time to navigate the swirling chaos and confusion of their persona to try to break through to get to their true self. It can take lifetimes to build up the walls that hold back the waves of truth. It does take lifetimes to take those same walls down. No one can do it, no one can do it for you. You built them up, and it is you that must take them down, and that's just the truth of it. Teachers can give you keys and insights to know where to begin or where to look, but they cannot do the work for you because it is not their job to use their life to unravel your dysfunction. It is your job. Thanks, everyone.